go.
And welcome back to Talking Mickey Project.
Who are you?
Oh, Emma.
That's
and
Emma.
tonight, we have a special guest with us.
That's right. We have a special guest. Oh,
Rumble.
that's okay.
Rumble,
We don't have a drum with
rumble.
us. But we do have a special guest, like you said. So this is Emma. I'm her dad, Kevin. I'm here for the tech. And Emma is going to interview our friend, Miss Bridgette Langford of Storybook Trips with Bridgette.
Storybook Trips.
What?
Not from.
With Storybook Trips from Storybook. Is this a grammar lesson all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Because you know what? I can probably use one.
Yeah.
Your mom is like the crazy one on grammar. She knows all that, so she probably taught you all that stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, we are just about to connect with her, and it looks like we need to say hello to a few folks, including, there's your mom. I've been looking forward to this one. Megan says hi.
Hello.
Hey, Caden's back. Caden says hi,
Hey,
Emma.
Caden.
Hey, Carter. Hey, Megan. Oh.
Maya.
Your mom is connecting with everybody. All right. And we with Carolyn too. So yeah, so we're going to have people joining us. We're going to put comments up when we have an opportunity. We're also going to put questions up that we have prepared for Bridgette. And what?
The purple one.
Yes, that is fine. I know you're going to see that. It's already been posted. I know it's already been posted, but we are still live.
Yeah.
So let us not worry about the error from
Grandma gone.
that one post.
Hi, Grandma.
We're good. Yep, there's Grandma. Welcome, Grandma and Grandpa, because I imagine that both of them are watching.
Oh, God is gone.
Hey, Sean is on. Welcome back. And John is on. Welcome back.
Oh.
All right. Well, Emma, can you tell everybody a little bit about Miss Bridgette before we bring her on?
Miss Bridgette is our Disney travel planner. She plans Disney trips for a lot of people if they're wanting to go to the parks.
Including us.
Yeah, especially Disneyland on June 15th.
Oh, coming up. But what does she plan for us in the past so people know how we have worked with her in the past?
She has helped us work out our plan for our trip for Disney World.
Last year.
Walt Disney World, sorry.
And then in 2019, we went to
Disneyland.
And Miss Bridgette helped us with that too.
Yeah.
So she did everything from booking the hotels and the tickets and the reservations and all the rest of special tours, all that kind of stuff. So we had a great time. So Emma wanted to talk to Miss Bridgette with everybody here so that you can ask questions also, because Bridgette is an expert travel planner with Disney through Storybook Trips with Disney topics and cruises and everything else. What?
Before everyone asks if this is trivia, no, it's not.
Yeah, that's right. We're not going to do trivia officially tonight. We may have a couple things come up, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's probably time to bring on Miss Bridgette. So are you ready for that?
Yeah.
All right. Let me make sure that I have the right settings here, and I think we do. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Bibbidi bobbidi. There she is.
You already did it, yeah.
I think she did hear you. Well, thank you, Miss Bridgette, for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're awesome. And Emma, look how excited she is.
No, her mom.
Oh, that's okay. Well, you're still excited. I know you.
I know her mom.
All righty. Well, basically, what we were going to do is talk a little bit about what you've done, what your background is and all, and then talk about some fun stuff too. Especially, we have a trip coming up that you're working with us on.
Absolutely.
You actually may be going with us.
Yep.
On, which not everybody gets that service level, I'd imagine, when they work with you. But it's pretty cool either way. All right, so
wait a minute.
What's that?
I do have a question. If you're with somebody at the park that you know, and you're with them on that certain days while at a Disney park, do you do you and your party get a discount? Or just you by yourself?
Are you?
For if you're a planner,
Yeah.
I think the only discounts they give, like when you're in the parks and all, is like annual pass holder, DVC, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Disney doesn't like giving too many discounts.
Yeah.
But
We
anyway,
need to go to the character warehouse though.
yes, we do. That would be fun to do also.
That place is so much fun, and you can get into so much trouble there.
Yes.
Hey, wasn't there something called Theme Park Connection where they had a lot of old Disney and
They
other
did?
stuff?
And I
Are
think
they still in Winter Park now?
No, Theme Park Connection closed down. The physical store that they had, that's not there anymore. I think they just do online stuff now.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
well,
wanna go see it.
that's all right. There's plenty of stuff on Etsy and eBay
I
and
know I
Shop
want to see
Disney.
old Disney stuff. Real old
Well,
Disney
that's
stuff.
on Etsy and eBay
Not
too.
really, it's owned by a Disney company.
Oh, yes, it is.
speaking of like sad things, we went by where the old Disney store used to be in North Star Mall today, and I had to like shed a tear because I was like, oh, it was so hard.
The Disney store closed in the mall here by us. Remember?
I know.
When Emma was
I
little,
did not get to open it though.
no, but he didn't do that. But when Emma was little, she used to call it going to Disney World. She wants to go to Disney World this weekend, and we go to the mall, and she would go to the store. And of course, she was like 3 or 4. And then when we finally went to Disney World, she found out that wasn't the same place. It was much better, right?
I think, along the lines of that, I think that a lot of times when you've never planned your own trip to Disney and you sit down with a travel planner and they show you brochures and they show you this huge brochure that just explains like every theme park and just lays out the entire acreage of Disney. And you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm so glad I am letting you help me plan because I wouldn't even know where to begin. So, I mean.
Yeah. And nowadays, with all the stuff that you have to schedule ahead of time, you really can't just show up.
Absolutely.
And then expect to really do a lot of rides or even to be able to get into the parks now.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Well, you want to start with your questions? What's that?
Well, Disney is not letting you get your Magic Bands early anymore.
Well, you can buy them early, but they don't give them to you free.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We have a few. So I think we probably have enough.
Old one?
Yes, we have some
pink one.
We have some old ones too.
I do encourage.
Does that still work?
Yeah, so I do encourage, if you have an older Magic Band, I will encourage you to upgrade if you really want to have the Magic Band, to upgrade to the newer edition, even if it's just the plain colored one. Because I have a couple of clients who are actually getting ready to go, and the wife had the older one. And I called, and that technology has changed so much between the older to the newer band that they would just encourage you to, if you can, but if you don't want to, they are giving the key, like what they call the key to the world card, which is like the key card like you get at a standard hotel, and you can use that to open your door, and you can also use it in the park. But now they've introduced the Magic Mobile. So Magic Mobile goes through Apple and Android into your wallet onto the phone, and you can use that application instead of a Magic Band, or right there through your phone if you don't want to wear a Magic Band or carry around your key to the world card.
That's right. Yeah. We do have some of the old ones that are just a real plain thin that didn't have the little, I don't know what they call, like a hockey puck or the Mickey. Yeah. And we have some of those too. Yeah, the Mickey symbol. That's right. Oh, well. Well, do you want to start your questions? All right. I'll put the first one up. Everybody that's in the chat, let me check real quick before we move on. Make sure I've got everybody's comments.
Commenting a lot.
Oh, well, I think Mom is saying hi to everybody. So, yeah. Hi, Miss Alma. All right. Well, let's move on to the questions because we have some good ones out there, I think. All right. So, Take it away.
Number 1. What is your earliest memory of Disney?
So probably my earliest memory of Disney is probably watching the Disney Channel. Just on ABC, the ABC at that time, or was it CBS? There was a time that I think almost every major network had something that they did with it was either NBC, CBS, or ABC that had some form of a Disney movie or a Disney show. So I would watch that with my grandmother, my dad's mom, and she actually took me to see Snow White when it was re-released.
Wow.
Right down, for those of you not to date people, but right down the road where Central Park Mall used to be off of 410 in San Antonio, Texas, there used to be this little theater called the Fox Theater, which is actually where Target is now in North Park. And my grandmother my Nana took me to see Snow White. So that is those are probably some of the earliest memories I have of Disney. And so if anybody wants to blame my love of Disney, they have to blame my Nana. So,
What about you? What's your earliest memory? Do you remember? Not necessarily a park, but just anything about Disney. Was it a movie or a TV show? We'll have to get back to Emma on that one because she's probably got a lot of them.
It is a really hard one because
it's like going through a file, all those memories.
Oh my gosh, yes, it is, because when you go to Disney, and that's what I love about Disney though, is because even now with Emma, how many times you guys have been, there's always something new. There's always some new memory. No matter how many times you ride the Haunted Mansion, no matter how many times, there's always something that Emma finds in a ride or attraction that she's probably never experienced before. And so that makes it really awesome because it just adds to those memories, or it even enhances a memory that she had from when she was younger.
Isn't that right?
I think I got one.
Okay, well, share it.
It was watching the old Disneyland video.
The old Disneyland videos?
Disney World videos. Like all the customers getting to certain songs, like Boy.
The sing-along and dancing songs?
Yes, oh my gosh, I love Disney sing-alongs. I look them up on YouTube all the time.
There was one that they did that was, I can't remember the name of it, but she watched it when she was little a lot, and they were dancing. It was a group of kids with all the characters, and they were dancing on the beach at the Polynesian.
That's the Beach Club one. It's the beach party one. Is that sad that I know that?
She watched that a lot. I thought that song, that Slice and Sand song, was a Disney song till I realized that Elvis sang it a long time ago.
I'm gonna have to send Emma that. I have it in a playlist.
So you got a cover.
Emma, I'm gonna have to send it to you. I actually have that in a playlist.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
You'll be dancing to that soon. All right, you ready for number 2?
Well,
all right, here's question number 2.
Number 2. When was your first trip to a Disney park?
Okay, so I'm going to date myself again, y'all, because it was in 2000, actually. I went with my high school dance team, and we danced at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. So that was the first time I had ever been to Disney.
I don't know if we've ever met anybody that did that.
Yeah, it was
That's
super
cool.
fun. It was super fun.
My parents were in the parade for the Disney World Pavilion.
Yes. I went before that, but when I was in 7th grade, I think, I went and marched, and Melissa did as well, in the one of these. I found this button, of course, on eBay, the Tencennial Parade.
Oh my gosh, no way.
The one with the Lion King.
We were actually, of course, Melissa's older than me, much older.
3.
Okay, 3 years. Anyway, we were both in the same parade, and we have a photo of the two of us on Main Street, doing whatever we were doing in the parade. and didn't realize, all these years later, there would be the two of us that were together. So it was kind of neat. So Disney is kind of
gosh, a
deep in
Disney
the family.
romance in the making.
I have a connection with a park and a cruise ship.
Of course, 1998. We know. For people who have watched Emma's videos, they know that reference.
And still 11 days older than Animal Kingdom.
That's right.
I don't know about the Disney. I don't know about the Disney brain though.
Oh, well, we'll have to look into that one. All right, let's talk about, you ready for number 3?
Wait, are you going to ask when was my first trip?
Well, I guess I can if you'd like me to. When was your first trip?
No, I'm going to give it Bridgette.
Oh, okay. Because I know the answer, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
Emma, I think your first trip was when you were, 4?
Look,
And you stayed at the Contemporary.
because now we renovated to be incredible.
Yep.
So we heard. And she went down to Chef Mickey's to eat in a Tinkerbell costume, complete with wings and the wand.
Yep. Do you remember what year that was, Emma?
You were 4. So 2000 and...
Sorry, I'm making you do math.
It's fine. I can do that.
You got it. It was either 2002 or 2003.
2002.
Yeah, somewhere when you were age 4.
Yay, math! Woohoo!
That was something. That was fun.
I think we have it on the old ring thing on a picture.
Oh, we have lots of photos. One day maybe we can share those with people.
And then you're old like when you and Mommy went. And I can
Yes. Yes. Many, many years ago. All right. Well, let's talk about Miss Bridgette. We're interviewing Miss Bridgette.
Hello.
All right. Number 3.
What made you decide to become a Disney travel planner?
Well, I loved Disney so much. And when Mr. Chris and I decided to move where we did, a lot of people don't know, but I actually went to seminary, which is like Bible school. And when we moved to Temple, it was really hard for me to find a job just because of where we were at. And so I did get a job for a while, and then the door opened for me to become a Disney travel agent. And I took that opportunity, and I decided that's what God called me to do at that time. And so it has just blown up, totally where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to be doing. And I love being able to show people hospitality, and I love, living through other people's vacations. And when they travel, I love when they send me photos, because it just shows me that they're having a good time, that they're enjoying things. And for me, it's just pure enjoyment. That's why I decided to continue to do this, because I just love helping people have vacations that are just so much fun.
Okay, now I have a opinion question for you.
Oh, an opinion question.
Okay.
What is your opinion for Disney World 50th anniversary video that came out?
Oh,
I think yesterday.
What do you think about the new video that came out? Yeah.
So I posted, and I posted that it gave me all the little feels. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna cry. It was like one of those, oh, I can't wait. I was on the edge of my seat. What about you? How did you feel?
Well, we were watching this YouTuber. He does an account called WWW News Today.
Probably guess who that is.
Look, and he kind of doesn't like the video due to Disney not be able to post kid photos in the video.
Well,
like they used to.
He was talking about the fact that when the 25th, I think it was, they did the campaign was a lot of home movies that people had taken in the parks.
I remember that.
Very nostalgic. Yeah. And he said this should be a lot of nostalgia because it's the 50th. And he was disappointed that it didn't involve the fans and the people that visited more.
Including Roy Disney.
Including Roy. Roy was a fan. Roy built the place,
But
right?
I
Emma,
know when he
Emma,
was brother.
what
Hey,
did
let-
you think? What did you think? Did
What
you
was
like
your
it?
opinion?
Mm.
Yeah,
Did
It
you
was
like it?
okay.
it was okay.
If they bring back good ones in their video, I'll be more than happy and go dark again.
Yeah, if they bring back the song "Good Life" in their video, she'll be good.
Okay, all right. Well,
Emma's
we
easy
just
to
may have
please.
to make one on our trip, so
That's right. Maybe we'll have to do our own promotional video.
Oh my God.
Sorry, One Direct. No, wait, I'm sorry, One Republic.
One Republic.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy who did the God originally.
It could have been. All right, you ready for number 4?
Yeah.
All right, number 4.
How long did it take you to learn to be a Disney travel planner?
So I had to do the official training that Disney has, which is called Disney. Oh my gosh, what is it called? Disney's College of Knowledge, and that took. Oh my gosh, you know how big Disney is, and you know how many things Disney sells. Yeah, sells. And so it took a long time because we went through every section. So the beautiful thing about it is as much as I love Disney, it was pretty awesome because some of the things I already knew like second nature, like I already knew them. But some of the stuff that I learned was kind of cool because I never knew that maybe Disney did that or that was an opportunity. For instance, under normal times, I didn't realize there's like 10 plus different like tours that you can do. I had no idea some of those tours existed at Disney World. I had no idea that Adventures by Disney had so many different excursions and opportunities that went outside the United States. I knew Disney had a cruise line, but I learned more about the cruise line and what exactly the cruise line it like everything from the ship, from like the different cabins to how many people are allowed to stay in this room. And then I was quizzed on everything at the end. So yeah,
You had a test.
so I had this big giant notebook full of like tabs and stuff. I mean, from Alani, you learn about everything at Alani. I mean, it was probably all in all, it probably took me over a month to finish all my Disney training. And every year that I've been a travel planner doing Disney travel, I always have to update my knowledge. So I have to go back and do it. I think it's about, depending on how like well you know the product previously or whatever, it can take anywhere from like, depending on what they do. So like this last one for 2021, the assessment, it took me about an hour because I'd already done all the training prior to that for learning everything. But every time they add something, I have to go back and learn it. So with like, Disneyland, Disney World rolled out the reservation system, right? So I had to actually attend, and I still attend additional trainings on things about Disney all the time. So it's a constant learning process.
So when we hear about something new and we wonder, well, how does that work? Miss Bridgette already knows.
Well, either Miss Bridgette knows, or she's like getting the email and then she's like accessing it and figuring it out. So that's why she can go tell you. So
that's cool.
It's been kind of the same thing with everything. That's why I tell my clients it's so important that you pay attention to the know before you go page for anything that you're planning to do, whether it's Adventures by Disney, Disney World, Disneyland, the cruise line. You have to pay attention to those things because some of those are even more up to date than me. So I kid you not, I probably look at that thing once in the morning and then once in the afternoon because sometimes that can change like within hours.
Oh, Sean has a comment. I work there and she knows more than me. Sean is a cast member.
Yeah.
In the transportation part of the.
But you know what? What I may lack, Sean may know. So therefore, we can work together, and we'll just
teamwork.
Yes, teamwork. Yes, and what Sean and I don't know, Emma knows. So
there you go.
Amen.
That's right. So if you guys have comments, please put them in the comments. We'll see them and we can pull them up. If you've got questions, do the same thing and we'll include them here and get your questions answered. All right?
Not a post something.
Yep. She said, LOL, Sean.
But
All right. Well, this one, we might have talked
do.
about this next question, but we can ask it anyway if you want to, in case there's
Number
anything we
5?
missed. Yes, number 5.
Okay. What classes did you take to become a Disney travel planner?
So I mentioned to you that there was, all that training that I did. And so they broke it down by hotels. They broke it down by under normal times, we have the dining plan. So you talked about the dining plan. You talked about the resorts, girlfriend, don't ask me all about the hotels because that was an insane, because you know how like Beach Club has the villas and, then they've got the studio and then they have the standard room and then they've got, So the more these hotels get bigger, the more they had bullet points that you went through.
Like a list of things to know.
Yes. So all in all, I mean, there were, and like I said, there's even expanded knowledge that I can continue. That's not the required classes that I had to take. So sometimes they have in our learning, we can learn about how to market better. We can learn how to do, how to sell at different events around town. Like if you want to do a trade show or things like that. So there's different classes beyond the required that I can do as well. And then of course, I also go and, I actually do work. I know sometimes it looks like I just play, but I'm actually working, I'm actually doing things and, even though I'm having fun, I'm actually working. So.
Well, you reminded me of one thing. We went years ago, Emma and me and her mom went for a food blog forum when we used to have a food blog in South Carolina.
Which was called Petey Foodie.
That's right. And I was the one that was doing the blog at the time and the podcast related to it. And anyway, long story short, some of the things that they had us sit through the classes at the event was to learn about all the new food they were bringing out, the healthy food options. They had samples and everything. So that was really tough.
Disney needs to bring that back now.
I think my classes were easier than your class.
Me and Mom also saw you.
You did. They had classes all over. But what Miss Bridget's doing is a whole lot more difficult and a lot more information. No. We were just going there to kind of be shown all the new things.
No, I'm coming out at a Grand Floridian.
Yes, we did. That's where we were.
We were in the back of the gift shop.
Okay. And you saw us?
Yeah, I saw you.
Oh, goodness. Well, good. We were all there together. I hope you saw us.
You had shrimp. I wanted one.
I had shrimp. Oh, this is what she remembers from all these years ago.
I wanted shrimp.
That's back to the Disney memory, I mean,
there you go.
That's one of your memories from Disney.
I want a frozen shrimp.
A frozen shrimp.
Yeah.
Frozen shrimp. You want fresh shrimp is what you want.
You want a frozen Mickey bar, not frozen shrimp. Frozen Mickey bar, not shrimp.
Yes.
We actually tried one and it was cold to my teeth.
Ooh.
That's right. Well, it should be.
My teeth did not like it. I
so
think my teeth are sensitive.
So because we used to do the food thing, I got a question, I guess. Did they have a section of all that about the restaurants all around the property that you had to learn?
Yes. And then you had to, because so there are certain foods that are table serve food, where you can reserve. And so with the dining plan, they had a whole, and I know that like you can get a list of those like online, but they went through and you were told what what you were allowed on.
Oh, wow.
Like, I mean, not that, but it was like, okay, if you do this, it's 2 meal credits.
Yeah.
For instance, like normally Be Our Guest is the signature dining. Signature dining was on the dining plan. It's 2 table serve credits. So it's not your standard 1. And so when somebody would want to go eat there, you had to clarify to them, okay, well, this is no longer 1 table service credit. it's 2 table serve credits. So if you were on the dining plan that only had, 1 quick serve, 1 table serve per day, well, that took 2 of your, table serves. So you had to clarify that. And so a lot of those people would do the deluxe dining that had, 3
Wow.
table serves, or, you could pick or how you wanted to do it that day. So
We always ended up with extra snacks, and we would
yes,
buy a bunch of snacks at the end and hand them out to people.
yes, absolutely.
What was nice?
I guess it was nice.
I
But we
can't
had to get rid of them, right? We wanted to use them, and we couldn't use all the credits we had. So
right.
And they got free snack food
that's right.
if they were hungry later.
Well, hopefully so. All right. Are you ready for number 6?
Well,
All right.
what surprised you about what it takes to move a Disney Cradle Planet?
Hiccups.
That's okay. I had them earlier. I'm surprised they went away before this, so it's okay. So what surprised me? Probably the fact that I had to learn so much more than I knew. What surprised me probably was, oh my gosh, there were lots of things that surprised me. One for the training, like I said, like it surprised me at like how detailed our training was. And, they wanted us to know these products so we would be able to sell them. So that kind of surprised me. What else surprised me was that just the level of detail that they, like in, most of my things, like some of the training I've done for some other things that I sell is strictly just I read a page. Like I read a page of information and I pull things out of it. Whereas Disney has always given me videos for training that I can listen to and also read it, which I love because I'm a very visual learner and I'm an auditorial as well. So being able to like read it and actually see it has helped me so much, like with everything that I don't understand. So that, I was very surprised that Disney did not, and maybe Sean can, attest to this as well for working for the corporation, but, Disney does a very good job of executing like everything, like on point. So they try as much as possible not to leave things out in the training that you need to know based on what information is currently out for it. And they do it in such a way that you can actually see it and hear it. And so you actually know what you're doing.
That's a lot. That's a lot to learn. But it's really cool to hear that they put so much work into it to help, you know what you need to know to help people.
Well, and I love how they did that with the Know Before You Go. Like, they put out those videos. They did even Hong Kong, Shanghai. They put out the videos and they did English at the bottom because eventually, right, people from America want to go visit when we're able to. And they did a really good job of explaining it with the mask and, the temperature check and everything. And they did that here too. And I think that's awesome because Disney's very, like we include everyone. They don't leave anybody out when they try to explain things.
Inclusive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what inclusive means to Disney, the company. Now, they did that for Disneyland Paris and Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea.
I do believe they did. I'm not 100. I don't follow too many of those. I follow the Disney Parks blog page, and they did advertise some of what they were doing at some of the parks to help them open back up.
Yeah, they probably did. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. All right, you ready to move to number 7?
Well,
all right.
How often do you get to go to the Disney parks now?
Whew, okay, so before COVID, I had gone in 2018. I think I went like 5 times in 2018. And then in 2019, I went a few more times, and then I have traveled to Disney. They opened in July of 2020 or June of 2020 into July, and Mr. Chris and I went in August, and then I was back in September. We were back in December. And so, we have been back quite a few times since all the reopening as well. So I try to go. We usually have conference, usually in September. So I probably, under normal times, probably will go 2 to 3 times a year.
And from doing that, I guess, are there times that you have to go, you're required to go for training, or is it going to catch up on things, or what?
It's sometimes it's not really like, that's the beauty of I love the company I work for. It's never required, but if you want to grow in your business and you want to grow at selling your product, you're strongly encouraged to attend conferences, because sometimes you learn invaluable things that you will never learn from learning online, or from, you'll have one-on-one, not one-on-one, but I mean, like maybe a group of 1 to 10 sometimes tours. And some of those things that you learn on those tours of like the hotel rooms or different things are going to be things that you will not learn from your Disney training. For instance, housekeeping. On my last one, I learned some things about that housekeeping does that I didn't even know they did, because we don't really have training on, other than knowing that Disney has housekeeping. So you get to learn just what the cleaning process looks like for a Disney hotel room, and how they clean the beds and how they do different things. Or, if you choose to, I mean, like I had a bus driver one time that we were the only ones on the bus. So I got to have a kind of a personal conversation with her, and her name was, I think it was Gail. And Gail and I were talking, and she started telling me a little bit about how she cleans the bus. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So that helped me out, because I had a couple of clients a while back who were like, well, we're not going to take any, we're not going to take any of the transportation. I said, well, here's what they do at this time. This was right after everything reopened. And so, I explained to her about what details they were doing to keep the buses clean, and how they were cleaning every 2 hours, and how they were doing the different things. And so that, to me, has been invaluable about traveling to Disney right now during COVID restrictions, because at the start, they were, yes, because you read it, but, sometimes having it from somebody you trust, like your travel agent, tell you, oh, well, I have pictures. I saw them cleaning, the roller coaster, they stopped it, and this is the thorough that they cleaned and stuff. So that, some of that stuff's invaluable.
That makes sense, especially these days, huh?
Absolutely.
Isn't that cool? What do you think about that?
I wonder if God might know Gail.
I think he might know something. I do have a comment that I can pull up that Mr. Sean said. He said, Disney is very thorough when it comes to training. I spent a month learning the different routes and procedures pertaining to transportation. Wow, that's a lot of time.
Ooh.
But they have, 27,000 acres? So it's probably a lot to learn, too. Wow, yeah. And he said he goes every third day for him.
Every third day? Like Wednesday?
Well, every third day. So I guess every 3 days.
Oh.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, there's a lot, but it's pretty cool to know, because one of the things we had a question about before we went this past year was how to stay safe, right? A lot of people probably did. And we stayed in, you helped us with, we stayed in the cabins at Fort Wilderness.
The one at $3,000.
It wasn't $3,000 a night.
I don't think.
Oh my goodness. Emma remembers the weirdest things.
On their website.
Okay. Well, yeah, but that's what was on the website. So anyway, let me finish. All right. So we did that. And then we rented a car, so we didn't have to take the transportation with the group, because we didn't know what the Magical Express was going to be like. But it also, it's over with now. That's right. They're going to close it. Rest in peace, Magical Express.
Rest in pieces.
In January.
Rest in pieces.
On there.
Right. So we did all that. But what we found was that, yeah, Disney takes care of things like they always have. So they took care of people and their visitors with respect to all the COVID stuff, just like they did with customer service for everything else. And you felt comfortable, you felt safe, you felt like people were concerned about everybody else's health, including yours. And that made a difference. And now, since all that stuff's kind of opening up, it'll get back to a little bit more what people remember. But the concern and the customer service, I'm sure, taught them a lot for the future as well. Don't you think?
Well,
Anyway.
did your power went out last night or yesterday?
Why are we talking about that?
You know what? Speaking of power, Emma, guess what? Did you know that Disney, like when there's hurricanes and stuff, I mean, you guys lived in Florida, so, but I think that's so cool because they have those backup generators at Disney and, people flock to the Disney hotels. And that's like, and I have actually had clients who were there during the last one. And I thought they were going to be like so nervous about, because it just came on. And no, they were the most chill people, whatever. They're like, man, no, they got the characters out. They're coming to the hotel. The kids are having a blast. They're offering this and that. So, Disney takes care of their people when there's things like that. So, yeah.
They definitely know how to handle stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Don't get the cattle have lightning rods.
Yeah, there's a lot of lightning in that part of the state. And if you look at all the buildings, the attraction buildings and lots of other buildings around there, they all have a lot of lightning rods on.
Oh, yes, they do.
Protecting from fires, right?
Oh.
What?
Speaking of lightning.
Who?
Speaking of lightning, guess what happened to the ride of the Resistance building?
Oh, a year or so ago, they had
I think it's both Disneyland and Disney World.
I think it was just Disney World.
Okay.
And that was at Galaxy.
You know why the ride always breaks down?
Why does the ride always break down?
Because apparently somehow lightning struck the building.
And they said they had to work through they had to change out, I guess, to fix it. But I've heard it doesn't have those problems anymore.
You mean like the power outlet that happened?
Yeah.
While we were there?
I think I think it's much better now.
Yeah.
So we got
it's been a while.
New computer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We had to be evacuated. When we tried to go ride as the Resistance, we got to sit in the cars, and then they said, "Okay, everybody, we have to empty the ride. It's shut down."
Well,
so
I heard
they took us backstage through the exit.
And see, that's awesome. You got an in-show exit.
So we got to see part of the thing. We got to be through the queue. We got to see part of the ride. And then they showed us backstage. So that was pretty cool.
And they work a great room.
Yeah, we saw that the Star Destroyer has a microwave. So pretty cool.
I did not get to see it look like all the hallway.
Oh goodness.
Is that like the less than magical side of Disney?
Oh, it was cool.
Boy,
we were happy.
Funny.
I mean, we didn't get to ride the whole ride, but we were still happy that we got to see everything. The cast members were great. They were really friendly and helpful, and so sorry we couldn't get you on. And it was really cool. So we're looking forward to doing the whole thing. But
don't worry, we're going to do it in December.
We were still smiling when we got off.
Oh, good. Good.
All right. Sean says Disney has their own power plant.
Are you talking about the solar panel one?
I think probably they have a power generation plant, probably plus the solar stuff, I would guess.
Why are we not surprised on this?
Yeah, the Mickey solar panels.
See, Sean, I didn't know that.
That's pretty cool.
And where is it located?
Where is it located?
It's
somewhere on the 27,000 acres, I would bet.
Well, I would like to know where your power plant is located in Disney World.
All right. Well, we got a really big question right now. Okay. We got to move to number 8 because this is one I think that everybody's waiting to hear. When they watch this later in the future, they're going to be waiting for this one too. Okay. You ready?
What are your best tips for planning a Disney park trip or Disney cruise?
Like, what are the secrets and tricks that people need to know?
So number one, if it's not me to plan your trip, find somebody to help you plan your trip, because there are millions of us out there that work strictly on commission. We do not have, like, there are some that will charge you like service fees for things that you do if you don't plan your trip with them. But I am fee free. And there are lots of us out there. There's other agents as well as like at my agency at Storybook Trips. So if we don't jive, there's probably somebody that you would jive with at the agency. But there are tons of us out there. So, and we don't, a lot of us don't, like I said, we don't charge you anything. And so that's my number one tip is reach out, get a quote, even if you're just purchasing tickets, you have a timeshare, depending on every travel agent, we're all different. We all have our different niches. We all have our different ways and methods of how we do things in the biz for Disney. But that's the top one. Find somebody to help you plan your trip. A lot of us, my rule is if somebody at least books a trip with me or at least purchases 3 days or more of tickets, I will help them with the other parts that come with planning a Disney vacation, even if you're not staying on property. And so number 2 is location. Choosing which is the best and which parks do you want to go to. I cannot stress how highly that is important right now because of the reservation system. So, I encourage right now, I think we're probably set to have this reservation system. I believe it was 2023 or 24 that was mentioned.
What I heard, yeah.
And so that's going to be crucial because for people who stay on property, all we have to do to book your package is have a $200 deposit. Let me rephrase that, $200 deposit versus if you're booking your timeshare off property, if we want to make those theme park reservations, you're going to have to buy your tickets flat out because you haven't booked a package on site.
All at one time.
Right. So if you're staying on site and you've booked the package deal, then you can do with a $200 deposit, upload your reservation, and then we can put in your all that information, and then you can go make your theme park reservations. All for a $200 deposit if you stay on property.
Yeah.
And then, you can make payments up until your final payment, which is due 30 days out from your check-in. So, and there's no interest on that. So that's another big one right now because of what's going on. Whether you're doing, Disneyland, Disney World, cruise, definitely depending on where you want to go. If you're thinking Alaska for 2022, I would say now's the time to start looking because Alaskan cruises fill up really fast. The Disney Wish just opened for next year. And the first day that it went public for non-silver members and platinum members, I believe the inaugural was sold out in like 30 minutes. I think that's what
the whole ship.
Yes. But I'm also thinking that's a little bit because we've got some of our, YouTube people and different people that are going to be on that ship. But the next one that's August 29th through September 2nd, that one's completely sold out too. So, but I also think that has a lot to do with what happened last year. And so a lot of people said, okay, well, we're just going to move our reservation from the Disney Dream or the Fantasy or whatever to the new Disney Wish. So when that one opened, they were like, okay, I'm just going to move it to one of the Wish for the next, for the next year. So that's just my theory. But I think that ship is gorgeous. And, but that's my number one thing about cruises is if you know it, let's at least, put a hold on it if it's possible. And then let's put that deposit down, because the price will increase the more people, as it's booked. The price will increase as it's booked. So, I mean, there's lots of, what questions do you have that you think are some of the biggest things that, people would want to know about planning, the best tips for a
Yeah.
day?
If you were planning a trip for you and your friends, right? And working with Miss Bridget for that, what questions do you think you would have?
Wait for the part.
Well, for the trip, for planning the hotels, for deciding what parks to go to, what questions do you think you and your friends would have? I'm sure you have a lot, right?
Well,
I'm thinking like, okay, I'll give an example. When Emma was 4, we stayed at the Contemporary, like you said. We did that because Emma's special needs,
yeah.
and she was little, and we wanted to make sure that because we were going in the summer, it was really hot.
Right.
If we needed to get back to the hotel quick, knew we were going to be spending almost the whole time, and we spent the whole time in Magic Kingdom. So all we had to do was either walk back or get on the monorail, and we were right back to the hotel.
Right. Location.
Yeah. So we planned that for that reason, because Contemporary was not the least expensive hotel. Right. It was one of the deluxes. But at the time, we knew that was a safe thing. If we had to get back to a hotel quick, that was the fastest one to go to.
Absolutely. And that's again, back to location, budget, know your budget, know what you want. So that way, if you either sit down with an agent or you're looking yourself, you can kind of weed out some of the things that you're not looking for. So for instance, like some people want hot tubs. Other people are just strictly there to, use it for a place to sleep. Some people are dead set on staying on the Skyliner because I want to, use the Skyliner for transportation. Some
That's
people,
true.
exactly. I mean, and I've got clients like you guys who were like, oh no, we want to stay at the Contemporary because it's, on the monorail line, and we want to be able to access the monorail line. I've got people who, depending on if you're going during a festival time or if you're going during race time, do you want to stay at a resort that's close to, where, ESPN Wide World of Sports is, so you're going to want to stay at a value resort, or, do you want to, stay close to Epcot because of Food and Wine Festival? So it's all about what time of the year you want to go, what's going on. And that's another reason that it's good to hire a travel agent, because we stay up to date on all that. So, if you're picking certain dates for a trip, we'll tell you, oh, well, guess what? They just announced this festival at, Epcot. So do you want to have a dining reservation at Epcot? Because you could taste around the world. So
yeah. And yet the dates change and keep moving around, and they extend things and all that. And you got to know.
Absolutely.
Well, we have a question. John was saying, how far in advance can you actually book a trip?
So we can book rooms up to 400, and I believe it's 499 days out. But that's just a room. But we can book packages, I believe, depending on the room, and what your accommodations you're looking for. Like if we're just looking for like a standard room, or, a studio, or the villas, it's a little harder with the villas because sometimes those villas are Disney Vacation Club. So we kind of have to wait to see the availability on those. But if you're wanting to book just like standard rooms, I would say probably 9 to 6 months before you want to travel. And I would say now probably 9 months because of the reservation system. And it also depends on when you want to travel, because currently we all know the 50th celebration starts October 1st. And so there is a limited availability for theme park dates to get reservations for the month of October. And hotel rooms are limited on site for October because of the celebration, especially around October 1st. And of course, with Boo Bash being announced, which is a smaller version of the Halloween party, that has caused the month of October to even blow up even more. So now we don't have official dates on that yet. Hopefully those are coming out soon for Boo Bash. So I will have those for you as soon as they come out. But that has caused October to blow up. So that's why, if you're thinking about going around a major holiday, the further out we plan and get you a quote for those dates is the best thing. So
I've heard, if you want to go around Christmas or for Christmas or New Year's, you should book out like as soon as you can, as soon as it becomes available. Right?
Absolutely.
What? You have a question? Okay, go ahead.
What if Disney going to do for Mickey's very Merry Christmas party?
So we don't have anything official on that. Nothing yet. My personal, this is just me talking. This is not, official Disney news. I personally think that they're going to look and see how things go. See, Sean knows. He said June 1st is when the tickets go on sale for Boo Bash. See, I didn't even know that yet. See,
and Halloween starts in August, I think.
Yep. No, yeah, I know. In the party's supposed
in October.
Well, they start the parties earlier in the year usually.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true this year though.
I wonder. Yeah. I kind of wonder, but I think they're going to kind of see maybe through those preliminary parties and see. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I don't have anything official on that. I just, as we did with the reservation system, and then all of a sudden they open more dates. So I'm just curious if that's, like I said, that's just me talking. It's not anything official or whatever, but maybe I hope I'm wrong. I want them to bring that out, because I've got people who are going and, especially over Christmas and different things. And I want them to have other opportunities. So
we've gone to the Christmas party in the past. We've gone to the Halloween party, a bunch of different festivals. But I think my favorite party is the Not So Scary. The Booty You Parade.
Yes. Oh my gosh, love Boo to You Parade.
Yeah. So Halloween is a big fancy time at Disney. So hopefully the party's
the Magic Kingdom. Absolutely.
Yeah. Disney playing the music.
Yeah, if they play the music, huh? Oh, we missed that last year.
So last year, I went with the agency, and there were enough of us to do Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But we changed it up a little bit. I don't know if y'all remember seeing these photos, but we changed it up a little bit because there was one guy from our agency that came, Kevin. Emma's talked to Kevin.
Oh,
Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion. Dead and Breakfast.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so Kevin dressed up as Snow White, but a guy version, and the rest of us dressed up as the Seven Dwarfs. And so it was during the day because they weren't having the Not So Scary, so they let you dress up in the day. I'll send you guys a photo. But so we all dressed up, got photos taken with PhotoPass, in mask. I was dopey, so I didn't have to have a little beard, but all the rest of the girls had beards on their mask. And it was super cute. I mean, it was super, super cute, super hot because it was, September, but it was super awesome. And they actually did the Boo to You parade during the day, and they had it in segments though. So it was set up, but everything from the Boo to You parade came out. So it was so cool. But it was cool because, at night, it's at night, it's a little bit more scary, but some of the things you didn't get to see because it was at night. So during the day, you got to see some of the effects that you didn't. And because there were still low crowds, you kind of got some one-on-one attention with some of the characters because you would call out to them and they would turn and look at you with blop, or, so it was really cool.
Well, Sean says, he confirmed that August is when Boo Bash starts.
Okay, Sean, you got to message me those dates.
All right.
Sean, can you ask Disney if they're going to play the Boo to You song?
I'll bet they will, as popular as it is.
They did last year.
Well, we have a question from Alma Moani who says, what time is considered off season, and how far in advance can a family book or reserve? So we talked a little bit about the scheduling of booking, but when is off season? And I guess right now, is there even an off season at all?
That, you know what, Kevin, that's exactly the question. I mean, I'm not even sure if there is an off season. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of, at least for 2020 and 2021, up in, the school year's ending, but a lot of people were still online. And so families, packed up the kids because Disney's got Wi-Fi, and, they, they did school after they played in the park for the day, or, that's just how people roll, and that's how people want to do. But, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really seen Disney have like an off season since I've been an agent. But I will say that, certain parks will be more busy depending on what holiday, what festival, that totally depends.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, well, do you remember we used to go a lot years ago in September, especially before you started school, right? When you were young, we would go because the kids would go back to school, and then it got less crowded at Disney. And then in the fall, right, it would be less crowded after Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and maybe the beginning of December. And then it was always less crowded in January after New Year's. But it's like what I remember, you remember this, they started doing the Run Disney in January, February. So that got the crowds up. And then they started doing the festivals at Epcot. That got the crowds up in those other times. So yeah, that was my question too, is like, I'll bet there really isn't a great slow time right now. It's probably easier because they're limiting reservations maybe right now.
Yeah,
absolutely. But, you also have to consider what other theme parks and things are around as well. So most people who travel to do one or the other, but some people will want to do, the other options, as well as want that, is just not Disney. Like they'll want to do other things. So, depending on if, say, the Shadow Place is doing, a food and wine festival. Most people know what I say when I say Shadow Place, but, if they're doing something, a lot of times people at least want to do, 2 days at Disney. Yeah.
When you're working
the place whose name shall not be spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, whenever we go to Disney, and I know you do planning for both, but when we do Disney, it's like we don't want to skip a day at Disney to try Universal, but Universal's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, but see, that's, a totally different, we can do the un-Mickey talking project at some point, but
that's right.
But that's something that, you have to consider too, when you're looking at planning your trip. Is that is Disney the only place that you want to visit? Because that plays a lot into your location as well. So if you're not wanting to spend, if you want to spend a day at the Disney Character Warehouse, do you want to do, things like that are, off property? That's, something else that we can talk about. We can talk about those kind of things as well, as not just things on property, but that plays into it too, because, whatever's going on.
I was going to ask you, Emma, remember, when we used to go years ago, we always went up to the parks, right? But when you got older, we decided to go like to Blizzard Beach. So we weren't in the theme parks, we were at the water park. And then we also decided at times to go to Downtown Disney, which is now Disney Springs. Yeah. And it's so big that people can probably spend a day there and they don't realize it until they get there, and then they miss it because they have all their park days lined up or something.
Right, correct.
Yeah, so you got a lot of knowledge that can help people really take advantage of the whole resort, not just what they know of, which may be limited, right?
Right, exactly. And I mean, that's, another thing to, tips for planning your trip, because, depending on how many days you have, how many parks you want to do, if you're planning a down day, did you even consider a down day? Things like that. So, I mean, if that's, sometimes, do you want to do a water park? Do you want to do the water park and more option on your ticket? I mean, do you, how many days are you going to be in Orlando? Is there other, yeah. So.
Oh, God has
And
another
Sean
one.
added, just to clarify, August 10th and goes through October 31st.
That is on Monday.
Fubu Bash. We went to Mickey's Not So Scary one year on Halloween.
It was packed.
It was like going to Mardi Gras on Mardi Gras Day in the French Quarter on Bourbon Street. It wasn't
At
crazy,
night.
but it was
at night.
it was like people were like shoulder to shoulder. So if
It's
you
like Star Wars weekend.
that's right, like Star Wars weekend.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And then open up down here.
But I guess that leads the question, Emma. And a lot of folks. Well, I'll include me sometimes. When I get into a lot of crowds, it makes me nervous. And Emma does the same kind of thing, depending.
Especially on the weekend while we're there.
Right. Well, because around holidays it can get busy and that kind of thing, right? But I would imagine that through the experience you've gotten working with everybody, you know how to help them plan the days. Like you said, maybe take an afternoon, go rest, or take a day off to unwind, because you can kind of get overstimulated, or you can just kind of get frustrated.
Yeah, and then you can also, there are great little, I like to call them alcoves, but there's lots of places inside the theme parks that people don't realize are great places where they can just escape for a little while. And I'll give one away. But at Animal Kingdom, there's a beautiful tree, like in the Tree of Life, there's a beautiful walk path that you can walk, and nobody hardly ever does it. And there's a beautiful spot. There's a beautiful bench, and I have photos of and video. Chris and I just sat there, and the waterfall. And I mean, it was just so peaceful. And the only people that came by were two cast members that were part of the Wilderness Explorer group. So, I mean, it was a beautiful, we sat there for maybe 10, 15 minutes just to, get out of the sun, just kind of relax a little bit in the shade and, get away from the crowd. And it was so peaceful. And every park has one of those. And so I'll give you that Easter egg, but
I think part of what I like people watching, and Emma does too. I know Melissa does. And I think maybe part of it is it's fun to watch people and listen and, kind of look around, but it also kind of takes you away from the hustle and the crowds for a little while. And I guess the other question I was going to ask, and you might be curious about, because we used it, right? Or curious to make sure other families know about.
You mean the backpack?
Exactly. You
want to particularly kid, particularly young adult kids, etc. Especially people who are in wheelchairs and stuff.
It's called the Disability Access Service, DAS.
And it's free. And it doesn't cost nothing. All y'all gotta do is go to City Hall, both in Disneyland and Disney World, and ask them for a backpack.
Mm-hmm. You tell them about what kind of disability or challenges you're dealing with, right? But let's see what, I'll bet you, Miss Bridgette knows more. We've used it to a limited degree, but I'll bet she's had a lot of clients that have too. So, what else can you tell us about that?
So, some of what, I have what's on paper, but believe it or not, Melissa, Emma's mom, has been able to help me understand it a little bit more. I do have an uncle. I do have an uncle who I've used it with him in the past. But what I think is so cool about that, though, is that you don't have to stand in the regular line. And so they will give you access to the current, rest in pieces, because Fast Pass line. And, they'll let you through that way. And, you go through that way. And the way that I understand it from Melissa, there was certain times that they gave you, kind of like the way that the old Fast Pass system used to be with the paper Fast Pass, where they give you like a return time for different attractions, and you were only allowed to have.
We've used it both in Disneyland and in Disney World. And we go, like Emma said, you go to City Hall, like in Magic Kingdom, or City Hall in Disneyland, or guest services, at whatever park you go to.
Did we use it at California Nectar?
Yes, we did. And what you did was, and it was, Emma was the person that had the pass. So what they do is they sign you up and they take a picture of the person with the pass. And then they connect anybody in your party to that person through the app, the My Disney Experience, or whatever I can't remember what the Disneyland app was called, but it's like that.
I think it's My Disney Experience app.
It might be the same.
Because it has both, I believe.
And what we would do is we would go to guest services, like a little kiosk or an umbrella in the summer, and the cast members would ask you what ride or attraction did you want to go to do, and they would give you a return time based on the wait time in the line. So if Haunted Mansion had a return time or a wait of an hour, they would say come back to Haunted Mansion in 60 minutes, and then you would go through the Fast Pass line.
Right.
And I saw today that on one of the YouTubers we were watching, a live stream, that they're still doing that now, even though they're not using Fast Pass right now.
Right.
Because it's not crowded.
Right, but you would use your DAS Pass the same way you always do, even now. And it's Kevin, pretty cool because once you have it done, you go to the next cast member for the next attraction.
And Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand that also with the DAS Pass, when you set it up at your first initial park, whichever park that you're going to, it's for the whole remainder of your trip. So you don't have to go to the next park and so on. So
I think it's good for maybe a couple of weeks or so. I don't know for sure. But if you're an annual pass holder, I think you have to renew it maybe every 60 days, 90 days.
I think that's what it was because we had to go by there with my uncle. So yeah.
Something like that. But what it does is it gets people who either can't walk that much, and stand for long periods, or that have sensory issues. Or any other challenge.
Right.
It could be a mental or physical challenge, doesn't matter. You sign up for that. They don't need proof. You just tell them what the issue is, honestly. The cast member signs you up, they connect you, and then you don't have to do anything else except go find the person that you need to get the return times.
Right.
And it worked really, really well in Disneyland. That was the first time we used it. And I think it worked really well this past year in Disney World. It was definitely less crowded in Disney World this past year, but in Disneyland, it was really crowded. And it helped out a lot. We got to ride not everything we wanted to because we weren't there very long, but we got to ride a lot of stuff, and definitely the ones that we really wanted to ride. That's right. Thankfully, there was a cast member and a guest services little stand with the umbrella right out front of the Haunted Mansion. So
we did not see the
in New Orleans Square.
Second entrance, though.
But yeah, I think a lot of people don't know about that. It's not a cut the line thing. You don't get automatic go to the front. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
All it does is save you from having to stand in line.
Mm-hmm.
You can go and sit somewhere. You can go get food. You can go watch a show, depending on your lead time. And then you go back to the Fast Pass line and go on whenever the Fast Pass line is done.
That's awesome.
So it really helps out a lot. And that's something that I would definitely, anybody that has a special needs child or adult, don't be embarrassed. Don't be concerned. Don't be scared.
No.
The cast members know how to deal with it. And they take care of it.
They were trained to do it.
You got it. Now, would you have felt as good going to Disneyland or Disney World if we had to wait in all the lines? Like, would that have been harder? Okay. Well, I think it's true. I think it would have been a lot more difficult, and we couldn't have had the time that we did, right?
I wasn't freaking out.
No, you were fine. I mean, I'm probably going on about it too much, but I think in essence, we waited the same amount of time as anybody else. We just didn't stand actually in the line. So, I think that it's fair that way. because you don't just go, show your pass and go to the front. That they
Right.
used to do it years ago, but that's
What
not the way to
kind
do
of
it now.
cup?
Yeah.
And I like that.
Well, everybody would like that. I think you have to be someone that maybe, I don't know, Bob Chapek or one of the guys that runs the company to maybe get that kind of fast pass.
That brings up a good point, Kevin. So right now, like during, the pandemic, they're still doing private VIP tours. And that's
Oh,
the
really?
only other way that you can access that line right now is
Okay.
private VIP tours. And so you can set up you have a tour guide who will take you around, to all 4 theme parks for the day, as long as you have a ticket with a hopper on it. But right now you can't hop till 2. But if you have that and you have that guide for, the 7 hours, you can do a private VIP tour for, that entire day.
Your guide is your fast pass.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And it's super expensive, but yes.
$1 grand.
No, it's a lot more than $1 grand. Yeah, it's a lot
$10
more.
million.
Probably not that much. Somewhere in between.
$1,000.
But I think it'd be super cool. Like I said earlier, there are tons of different tours that you can do. And one of the ones that I told Melissa, Emma's mom, I think that one that, Emma, me, and Chris would love to do would be the VIP Thrills. And it takes you around to all the roller coasters in Walt Disney World.
That's when I would be people watching and y'all could do that.
That's right.
She would love that.
Oh, by the way, if anyone curious of my quote Gecko Yeti and Gecko Yeti, it comes in mode B.
It's in mode B mode.
Yes.
The Yeti in Everest is not moving because it stopped early on. They were having a problem with it.
It was the thing that it was breaking.
Yes, that's what I heard. Emma knows all the stuffs.
That's what I said.
Really
if Sean and I don't know it, Emma knows it. So
absolutely.
And one time during I think it was B-23, and they were having some kind of conflict with the family company, going Joe Rowley.
Joe Rody. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, somebody asked them, are they going to fix the Yeti? And yes, one day we'll be doing that. But as you all know, Joe Rody recently retired. So we don't know if they're still going to fix the Yeti animatronic or not.
Yeah, that's probably a long shot at the moment, but that would be cool.
Well, we did.
Emma loves Expedition Everest.
Well, we did get the 3 caballeros finally back at,
That's right. They came back to the
tour.
ride.
So it's totally possible, Emma.
You mean the old animatronic from Mickey Mouse Review that were in Tokyo and then America?
Yep.
And then they were in Craig who knows how long in storage, and then they brought it back and they keep breaking down and talking some funny cackle and cookie.
And between Tokyo and they were in this guy's station wagon, and she knows all this detail, right? It's crazy how much Emma remembers, but it's so cool.
Go check out, I think it was Younger World who did it, or...
Oh yeah, all those documentaries, right?
I think it was Younger World. Go check them out, or it was because I don't know which one to go get Mr. Mark at Younger World for a wonderful video. He got a amazing hilarious video.
Well, and that is an example, everybody that's watching, why you have to tune in every other weekend for Emma's hashtag Disney Trivia Live, because she knows all the trivias. It's crazy. It's crazy.
From other YouTubers.
Well, I think Miss Bridgette, from what I heard, planning this interview, had some questions for you about, since she's helping us plan the trip we're going to take in December. She may have some questions about what you want to do. So I think it may be time for you to get a few questions posed to you.
Ooh,
Tables are turned.
The tables have turned, Emma. All right, Emma. So what is the number one thing that you want to do when we go to Magic Kingdom?
Well, first, I want to see what is refurbished for a figure and what is not.
Okay.
You know how much I want Hattie to be in the haunted mansion for a figure. And I know how long it's going to take Disney to build another Hattie ever product. Because they only did one.
Hatbox Ghost, right. She wants that to come to Florida, but that would have to be a big surprise.
There was going to be 100.
Well, the 100th is a long way away.
I better be alive.
Maybe for the 51st. So, yeah, I don't know. Can you make that happen, Miss Bridgette?
That's probably a Sean thing. I'm just kidding.
There you go.
Yeah, we can't tell the Disney company about my idea.
There you go.
Got a little bit more pool there than I do.
But that's a good. You had.
Please tell us what they think of my idea.
But I was going to say you had a good answer though, because what you want to know basically is what rides are going to be open and what may have been refurbed and updated since last time because of the 50th, right?
And I know Disney always did Disneyland Haunted Mansion because they did a video about that.
Right.
A week ago. Wait, a month ago or a week?
So is there a specific thing that you want to make sure we plan to do? Is there a restaurant you want to go to? Is there an attraction you want to make sure we do? Is there a show you want to see in Magic Kingdom?
Well, I don't know if Disney still bring back to go because they're short on cast members.
Well, that's a long time away. It may be back by then. So what's your number one ride that you want to do? We got to help. Miss Bridgette's planning the trip. We need to give her your information.
Big Thunder Mountain, 3 times in a row in the front seat. Make it happen, Daniel. I miss riding 3 times in a row.
I have already instructed Mr. Chris, your co-pilot.
There you go.
To sit with you in the front row on these rides. So he is all set and ready to go. There was not even a second thought on that. So
we went one time. This is several years ago, but we went one time and we rode Big Thunder in the morning when we got there, and we rode it again that night before we left. And the same cast member was there, and he said, "I remember y'all been here all day long." And we said, "Oh yes."
I think his name was James, I think, or Don. I know he's a black guy.
How long ago was that?
Well, around probably 13 years ago.
12 or 13 years ago, she remembers his name.
Because I remember we took a picture in one of the picture books we had.
You're right. We do. We do have a picture.
Well, no, I couldn't see his name tag because it was dark.
Wow.
And I've also heard from Mom that there's a request to do Space Mountain.
Yeah, my mom cannot fit in Space Mountain.
Mom doesn't. Let's back that up. Mom doesn't like the jerkiness of Space Mountain, so Emma would like to ride with y'all.
Well, and I think it's also Melissa's knee too. It's hard getting in and out. So
kind of jerks you around. And,
yeah.
She said she just broke her mom because she cracked up downstairs.
No, I broke her.
Okay.
I roasted
her. Oh, you roasted her. Yes.
Uh-oh, giggle alert. Uh-oh, watch out.
We all have to live here. Let's not do that again. Okay. She's so crazy.
I know. Emma, what food? What kind of, I know you said you tried a Mickey bar, but have you ever tried a Mickey pretzel?
We have seen no.
I don't think we've had one.
With cheese?
What's your favorite snack?
Yeah, what's your favorite snack?
Popcorn, then we have to be careful with the flies.
With the flies?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they get on the food.
Oh, don't worry. Here's a cool insider. Here's another cool insider. So if you buy a popcorn bucket and you pay for the popcorn bucket, which we have one, and you bring it back with you, refills are like $2.
And you can keep it in the popcorn bucket. You
Yes,
can keep it
and we
clean.
can put the lid on the popcorn bucket. And then the flies won't get in. And you can sing, "Fly, don't bother me."
We got that one not long ago.
Boo, Daddy got off of eBay.
Ooh.
I don't think
I like
it's
red
blue,
balloons. I like the red Mickey balloons.
Yeah, you do. I heard you're getting one.
So
Daddy got 2 of them.
yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, I was looking today online for the mini chocolate chip cookies that come the one in a pack that are like this thick. Couldn't find them, but those are my favorites. But yeah, Emma's is not a huge snacker, but what she likes a lot.
Do you like chocolate cupcakes?
Without icing yet.
Ooh.
Without icing, she
So we
says.
have to be careful with the crumb.
With the
With the crumb?
That's being an animal.
we can get to the ducks. The ducks are always looking for food.
The ducks, the Disney ducks.
I don't know if Disney will like it.
Look, yes.
We can take photos with the Disney ducks.
Those are probably the best fed and happiest ducks on earth. I would think.
Probably so. You're probably absolutely right. And in fact, I think the Disneyland ducks actually have a page.
Oh,
And
wow.
I've heard this before. I'm not.
They got a Twitter or an Instagram?
Something like that. Something like that. So,
YouTube.
you think the Disney World ducks were, spoiled. I imagine those ducks are getting more spoiled now because people didn't see them for over a year. So, I mean, So, and all the new little hatchlings are like, who are all these people? Where'd all these people come from?
Oh.
Mom.
Emma's mom says, "Hey, Sean, can you ask old Josh to bring the hat back that goes to WDW?"
Yeah.
I think that's Josh
Tomorrow.
Yeah. He runs the parks.
See,
Oh, really?
Sean knows people.
Yeah, there you go.
So he must have met him one time.
Oh, he might have.
Like the other YouTuber.
He might have. And then Emma's mom also said this, that she's in the front on Everett.
Oh, watch out.
Y'all can get behind us.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
I will be sitting where you can see everybody coming down out of the mountain taking video.
And Kevin will be eating a Simba pretzel.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll be chill.
Animal Kingdom has Simba pretzels.
Pretty cool.
How on earth is Disney right though?
What shows do we want to put on the itinerary that you want to see if they're open? What shows? I know Lion King's a given.
If they're open. Which ones?
Well, I kind of missed being the show of the Lion King, but I know Billy probably put a restriction on that too.
It's open right now. It's a different version.
Yeah.
It's open.
Let Miss Bridgette tell you.
Okay.
It's open, baby. It's open.
Emma, when she was little, because she was so cute with her pigtails, and she was in the show like 3 or 4 times with the playing the music, and when they got the audience involved. So we've got a few pictures of Emma in that.
I'm just kidding. You weren't playing the
maracas. We had a lot of fun. She's got good memories of that too.
Yeah, I did hear a rumor.
What's that?
Is that when if you look behind you at the the puppets and stuff, and you wave to them, they wave back at you. But I don't know if that's a true rumor or not.
With what? The fireworks?
No, the Tropical Lion King.
Oh, it's open.
No, I'm talking about the rumor.
What rumor now? What's the rumor you're asking about?
The one where you wave to the animatronic puppet for the show, and they wave back at you.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true or not. I've never seen that.
Is someone operating the floats that are in as part of the show? I don't know that.
Well, you know what? That's pretty interesting because you know what? I'm not 100% sure. I mean, like, I know that they removed the monkeys and the
tumble monkeys.
and there was one other. I think the bird. I think that's what they moved out with the bird.
Tonight one.
Yeah. So, I mean, did they have people in there before?
I think it must have been maybe remote controlled or something. I don't know.
I'm not
What do you
100%
think?
sure.
Well, I know they were in the Camp Mario parade because I never seen it on a video of it.
Could be. Could be.
Those are like those
Oh, well.
the Disney Easter eggs, those things that just like happen and you don't, But you know what I'm hopeful for, Emma? I'm hopeful that the fireworks will be back, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
We actually heard the new songs and the new fireworks go actually. On
YouTube.
No, it was on Disney Hit. Some other people who
on Sirius Radio, XM Radio, yeah.
I don't know if God knows about this, about Disney having their own channel now since they removed Radio Disney several years ago. I never heard about that before when I was little. But still what the deal was that no longer wanted to call it back then.
Do you want to do Hoop-Dee-Doo review if it's open?
Oh, we've never done that.
Hoop-Dee-Doo review?
No, we've never done that. I would love to see that.
I thought we did.
We've never been to Hoop-Dee-Doo.
Because they were closed.
Well, we just never went. So that would be really cool to see. That would be cool. Right? We were talking today about restaurants and stuff. And we went last time to California Grill. That was cool.
Holy
how cool would it be to do California Grill for dinner and maybe the fireworks were going off like while we had dinner?
Sounds like a plan.
With the music playing?
Yes, with the music playing.
They actually, so they pipe in, and before all this, like when I stayed at the Grand Floridian, I could actually go sit outside and you can see the castle from the Grand Floridian, and they piped in the music. So there were people standing around watching the fireworks and they could hear the music from the courtyard at the Grand Floridian. So they piped the music in to California Grill, and there's an observation deck where you can go outside and watch, and the music's piped in.
Like in the contemporary.
In the contemporary, right, at the top.
The California Grill.
Yes.
It was something else before, though.
Yeah, it was called the Top of the World at one point. Back in 71.
Did you know that actually was installed by Imagine Dragon?
Well, I'd imagine that the restaurant came first. Imagine Dragons probably weren't born yet when that was open. Formed or born. The people that were in it are probably not alive in 71.
Yeah. Well, probably
Oh goodness. Well, there's definitely a lot of stuff we need to plan for the trip because it's going to be a cool time. Literally not so hot, which will be nice. We can do more, right?
Well,
Lord willing, no mask at all.
That's right. Hopefully not, right? Hopefully everybody be good.
Well, I have to get my...
Right. You're finishing that, so you'll be good.
Yay!
My eye doesn't feel that sore anymore.
I told you that. I told you you'd be fine. All right. Well, I think you need...
We got number 10.
Oh, we have one more question for you.
Okay.
Well, we did number 9.
Okay.
How early should you start planning? That was one of our questions too. And then the last question is just for fun. If you could be any Disney character, who would you be?
I think Emma knows the answer to this one for me. Who would I be, Emma?
Dumbo.
Well, I like Dumbo.
It's because he's behind her? Is that why you guessed?
Kevin, this is the pillow pet. That's Dumbo.
So which character do you think she would be?
Mrs. Pot from Beauty and the Beast, the old version.
I could see that, but think princesses.
Which princess?
Snow White.
Yep.
Well, see, you knew. You were just messing around. Well, what character would you be?
I will work in a Haunted Mansion.
Oh my goodness.
If the Lord can make a heaven one for me,
Does she want to be
and
Constantine?
I can invite Paul Green to come.
Oh goodness.
Wait.
Emma, getting a little creepy with the Haunted Mansion.
Emma, do you want to be Constantine? The bride?
The bride. I think Emma. See, outside of the Haunted Mansion, there's a tomb in Disney World that says "I am a spook."
So we got to figure out which ghost is that, right? Like inside.
Emma was the like the housemaid in the story. So she actually is a character. I don't know where she's pictured, but she's actually a character associated with it.
Well, there you go. I bet you Mr. Kevin probably
There's
knows.
no Kevin there, but there is an Emma.
Yep.
It's also a Master Gracie with his name after the Macaneer Gracie.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what his first name was, though.
Yeah, I can. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. Was it Ward Gracie, maybe? Something like that.
So, Emma, which Star Wars character would you be?
Ray.
Ray? She would be Ray. I was thinking R2D2.
With R2.
Yeah, with R2.
Yeah,
Ray and R2.
I was thinking BB-8 for myself, but my head would fall off. So,
Wait, who?
BB-8.
Beep boop, beep boop.
Are you making fun of how the Abercrombie cannot stay on there?
Well, we've talked about the fact that when you make the droid at Galaxy's Edge, that the head is loose sometimes.
Remember what you told me about the head falling off?
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
So.
All righty. Well, I think we have been going for over an hour and a half.
Can we activate some more?
Well, after we wrap it up, I don't know. It's been a long time. Why don't you do a wrap up? Thank Miss Bridgette. Thank everybody for watching. And then we can close out the formal interview. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Miss Bridgette, my dad's gonna to edit and put it on LinkedIn.
Oh yes.
Oh,
We'll work on this and kind of take out the front part with the countdown and condense a little bit. That way we can post it.
Oh, thank you.
That'd be good.
If you have your own business and what other people can know is your business too.
Oh, well, thank you. Right. I appreciate that.
Can you also add Mr. Kevin from the Haunted Mansion that is
I will let him know. I will send him the link.
Okay, cool. Because I want y'all to get more recognized and get more clients from both of y'all.
Oh, thank you, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That's right. We definitely want that because we can't go all the time. We want other people to know and to have fun too.
Now, if you're thinking my second Star Wars character, it would be Princess Leia.
Princess Leia.
Yeah.
AKA Carrie Fisher.
That's right.
Even though we had a lightsaber.
She had a lightsaber. That's right. Well, like I said, I think you need to wrap it up.
Oh, yeah.
So why don't you thank Miss Bridgette? Thank everybody for watching.
Thank you, Miss Bridgette, for coming.
You're welcome, Emma. Thank you for having me.
And we've got follow Miss Bridgette on Instagram at Travel with a Langford. Is that right?
I think with
Yes,
Langford.
And
What's the name for it?
for everybody, follow Storybook Trips by Bridgette on Facebook.
Thank you.
And anything else you want us to link, we can do that too.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All righty. Let's see. I got. Miss Tanya just joined. Hey, Miss Tanya, thank you for joining. We're going to have the replay. It's going to be coming up probably just in a few minutes when we wrap up tonight. So, yeah, I think this has been fun. Thank you very much for doing this for Emma. She's been looking forward to this.
Well, thank you for having me. We love Emma so much. So
She
I'm
was
just
also
thankful.
nervous because this is only her second interview that's going on her channel. So
Well, she's doing a great job.
awesome. All righty. Well, how do you close your shows?
As always, everyone, thank you all for watching. I hope to get to see you all next Saturday night for Kiki Trivia Why.
Where your theme is
The Yellow Crew.
the backside of
Water! They
Jungle Cruise.
actually put that in the trailer.
They
Make
did.
sure you like the
It's gonna be
video.
cool.
I am so proud of Kiki sticking to her own room. As
Hey,
a Kraken.
all right. Let's wrap it up and no more side trails.
Oh no.
All right.
I
So
like to get on track.
as always, what do you want to do? Ask everybody to share the video.
Like, subscribe, and share my live stream with family and friends. And post in the comments below for next week.
That's right.
What is your favorite Jungle Cruise attraction from all over the park?
Ooh.
And what's your favorite quote goes from
Now,
it?
Emma, are you asking for current or past for Jungle
Both.
Cruise?
Both?
Both.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess I'll help too. So
Yeah.
thank you very much again for being on. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for joining and supporting Emma and her Talking Mickey project. And we will see y'all again. What? How do you say it?
See you real soon. Night, guys.
Night, guys.
Happy Memorial Day.